She was the La Touraine. Built in 1891, she was 536 feet long, powered by triple expansion steam engines and moved through the water pushed by twin screws. She could run at 19 knots and carry 1,090 passengers. 392 of them would be first class, 98 second class, and 600 third class. She would move a lot of people before being scrapped in 1923. June 17, 1913, she would deliver from Italy through France my great-grandmother, Caterina Rodeschini, 39, and 4 of her children, Elvira, 15, Emily, 13, John, 3, and Peter, 1, to New York Harbor and Ellis Island. They were immigrants. This story is about 2 of them, Giovanni, or John, and Pietro, Peter. We might assume that when they finished processing at Ellis Island, they would be greeted by Pietro, Caterina's husband and my great-grandfather, or by Saverino, her oldest son, and my grandfather. Or perhaps she may have been greeted by both. At that time, Pietro was living at 107 McDougal Street in Manhattan. Caterina would not survive long in America, dying, according to family lore, of breast cancer July 14, 1918, at the age of 45. This would ultimately have a profound effect on both Peter and John. When I started searching, I knew little of the story of Peter and John, other than that they had been committed to an orphanage at a very young age. First, I went to the 1920 census, as that was the first census after they had arrived in America. Here, it told me that they lived at the Mission of the Immaculate Virgin, Mount Loretto, Staten Island. When I discovered that the mission still existed as a Catholic charity, I wrote a letter asking if they retained any records from their archives that might help answer any of my questions. They did. Here is the response. Mr. Rodeschini, the records from Mount Loretto's early years are sparse. They are handwritten and kept on 3x5 index card files for each child and also within 2 bound register books. One is alphabetical and one is numerical. In searching our records, listed below is what I found. Pietro Rodeschini was committed to the mission of the Immaculate Virgin Orphanage at Mount Loretto on November 23, 1918, along with his brother John. Their father left them on the recommendation of Father J. Cavuzzi of the Church of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, 627 East 188th Street, Bronx, to the mission of the Immaculate Virgin. Their father agreed to pay $12 per month for each of the boys to support them here. Their father, Peter, was born in Italy and was Roman Catholic. He lived at 228 East 33rd Street, New York City. Their mother, Caterina, had died. She had also been born in Italy and was Roman Catholic. I cross-referenced both registers and their index cards to find as much information as possible. Peter's date of birth was May 26, 1911. He was age 7 when committed to Mount Loretto. He was record number A8854/13492. John's date of birth was August 7, 1909, and he was age 9 when committed to Mount Loretto. He was record number A8853/13491. They were both born in Italy and were baptized before their commitment. There are no records of how they spent their time at MIV, no medical or school records either. That is typical of that time period. It does state that Peter was discharged on July 5, 1927, to Catholic Guardian Services, 130 West 37th Street, New York City, to a physician. John had been discharged October 13, 1925, to his father, who was then living at 438 East 120th Street, New York City. I have attached a scan of the index cards front and back and the register entry. I have also included a copy of a report card and also the letter John Rodeschini wrote back in 1974 requesting verification of age for Social Security. These are both stapled to the index card. It was my pleasure to assist you in finding this information. I truly hope this is helpful to you. Warm regards, Mary Ann Verga, Director of Administration, Catholic Charities of Staten Island, 6581 Highland Boulevard, Staten Island, New York. The last record that I have for this story is the 1930 census. It shows both John and Peter living together at 750 2nd Ave, New York City. John is listed as a waiter in a hotel, and Peter a waiter at a restaurant. Thanks for watching.